evening. You are tuned into WRAS Atlanta and WRAS HD1 and HD2 Atlanta. This is Album 88. Tonight is the 5th installment in MTM Review, the show where we round up everything going on with Georgia State University's very own student-run record label, music distribution company, and sync house, MTM Standard. My name is Wesley Barrett, and as always, I will be your host for tonight's show. Speaking of tonight's show, the first guest is Kelseydog. Kelseydog is an indie pop artist who's planning to release her newest single, To Know Love, next week. Later on, the second guest is Bril Daley, the General Manager for MTM. Bril explained what it's like to help manage all the different departments that exist within MTM, as well as shed some light on how the sync catalog of MTM Standard operates. This is actually my very own department, as in addition to working here at Album 88, I'm also the sync director over at MTM, so it's awesome to be able to share a bit more about the operation that I myself run and helped form. Before we get into the core of the show, though, we have a couple housekeeping things to get out of the way first. First off, this program is produced in partnership with MTM Standard Music Group, Georgia State University's student-run record label and sync house. Some portions of this program may be graded schoolwork for students in the College of the Arts. Opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Album 88, MTM Standard, or the College of the Arts. For more information on our continued commitment to editorial independence in all of student media, please visit mtmstandard.com/WRAS. Also, side note, that link, mtmstandard.com/WRAS, can also be used to learn more about the show and re-listen to past episodes or episodes you may have missed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always contact the show during business hours at 404-413-9727. That's 404-413-WRAS. Or with questions about this show specifically, you can send an email to me at wes7629@gmail.com. Once again, that is WES7629@gmail.com. All right, with all of that out of the way, first off, we're going to be starting with MTM Happenings, a segment just about what's going on with MTM and what y'all out there can do to jump on the bandwagon. So next weekend, from April 12th to the 14th, MTM has some incredibly exciting events that we're hard at work organizing to be able to not only bring to Georgia State students, but also the city of Atlanta as a whole. The first of these events will be the MTM Music Festival that will be held at the Georgia State Carnival next weekend in the Green Lot. This festival is programmed in collaboration with both Spotlight and INSEG, so it'll be a night of music all curated and created by Georgia State students. MTM artists will be performing during the first part of the festival, so be sure to get there early to be able to see some of the artists that have been featured on this very show. And immediately following the MTM Music Festival, we'll then be hosting our second annual Sync Conference on April 13th and 14th. Many music supervisors, those are the people who choose the music used in movies, TV shows, games, etc., are being flown here to Atlanta to listen to music produced by Georgia State artists, as well as be able to shed just a bit of light on how they do what they do, as well as how to get more involved within the world of music synchronization. On Sunday, April 14th, we'll be hosting panels that are open to the public from 12 to 5 p.m. I'll actually be there to help run the event, so be sure to say hi. More information can be found at mtmstandard.com/sync. Hope to see you there. All right, with that out of the way, I think it's about time to introduce our first guest. That guest is none other than Kelseydog. Originally hailing from Seattle, Washington, Kelseydog is a junior in the music production program here at Georgia State. If that name sounds a bit familiar, that's because a couple years ago, her cover of Alex G's Treehouse went viral, and to this day has amassed over 12 million streams on Spotify alone for that song. Coming up next week, she'll be releasing her next single, To Know Love, and we'll actually be debuting it live at the MTM Music Festival mentioned earlier in the show. We'll be playing it later on, and as someone who was at a lot of the recording sessions for the song, I can go and tell you it sounds amazing. Bryan Gallegos sat down with Kelsey to hear more about her upcoming release.
Hey, welcome back to MTM Review. It's me, Bryan Gallegos, and today I'm interviewing
Kelseydog.
So let's just get into it. Okay, so who are you and where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm Kelsey, currently based in Atlanta, but I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Nice. So what kind of music do you make?
I make indie alternative pop music.
What made you want to start into that genre?
I guess like the genre kind of found me. I just kind of started making music, and that's just kind of what it sounded like. For a while, I like didn't know exactly where I fit in genre-wise, but yeah, over time it just
developed into that genre.
Yeah.
So how did you get your start into music?
So it's kind of a funny story. I started playing the flute when I was in 4th grade, but I really didn't want to. My mom kind of made me. She kind of pushed me to. So I think sometimes I wonder if my mom never made me play the flute, if I would be doing something completely different.
Would Kelseydog be with us today?
I don't even know.
Right.
But yeah, so I just started doing that throughout middle and high school, and just found interest in music production as I got a little bit older.
And then developed into the music you make today.
Yeah.
So, what about your artist name? How did that come to be? And is there like a dog that you think about when you say Kelseydog?
So actually, when I think of Kelseydog, I never really think of an actual dog, which is, it was like my Roblox username growing up.
Real.
Yeah. So it was actually a placeholder name. I was gonna change it. I was thinking of maybe my name is Kelsey, or I was thinking even Kelsey Keys, or my middle name Morgan. But I wanted to upload my music, so temporarily it was just Kelseydog. And I was like, I'll go back and I'll change it. And then people just started calling me Kelseydog. I was like, I can't change it now. It's too late.
It's one of those names that really sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really hard to get one of those names. Do you think your background in Seattle, Washington has influenced the way you make your music at all?
I'm not really sure. I did move around a lot growing up. I've also spent some time in California and then moved to Georgia a little bit later on. So I don't really think so.
Okay, so what about California? With the same question, do you think that the sounds and music there has influenced your music, or has it where does your influence come from?
I think my influence really came from music I was just finding on YouTube when I was in middle school. I remember when I moved to Georgia, being in middle school, everyone listened to rap music, and I was like, I have to be different. I can't be like everybody else. Which was stupid, obviously. But so that's how I got into indie music. I was like, it's different, you know. And then everyone started listening to it.
Right. What are some of the indie artists that you would listen to?
I was really into Rex Orange County and Cage the Elephant. Growing up, I was really into 21 Pilots, though.
Oh, dude, I bought Heathers on my iPod.
Oh, really?
Crazy memory, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think 21 Pilots really influences the music I make, just because it is what I listened to growing up for so many years. I think now some artists that influence me more are Sir Chloe. A new band, Mega Mango, really influences me. Also, Chloe Morando. I've been told they sound like her, so I definitely pull influence from her as well.
So if you could make a playlist of songs that influence you, what songs would be on that playlist?
I actually have one. It's called What Inspires Kelseydog.
Oh, real?
I have Too Close by Sir Chloe, Romeo and Juliet by Peter McPullen. I have Roddy by Joe, a couple Mega Mango songs, and I have Pool by Still Woozy and Rummy Wolf. That's an awesome song.
Neat. So what part of those songs influence you? Is it how they're composed, how they're made, the lyrics? What part from that do you grab inspiration?
I think it's just partly the way it makes me feel and the way it sounds. I'm like, God, I just want to make songs that make me feel that way.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
So obviously, Meat and Potatoes, your cover of Alex G's Treehouse has over 12 million streams, one of your biggest songs that you've released. How did it feel seeing that number just keep rising and rising?
Yeah, I mean, it felt very unreal, and it still kind of does. It's hard to see a number and imagine that's people listening to your music. But I do remember when, it was the second day it had been out. I was in the back of my parents' car because I was still in high school, and we were just driving to get groceries or something, and I pulled it up and I saw it was 3,000 streams in one day, and I was like, what?
What's happening?
That was crazy because my music, I think the most streams I had on a song was nothing over even 2,000. So seeing that, I remember telling my mom, oh my God, this song, like, why does it have so many streams? Like, that's so crazy. And then she was like, oh, okay. Like,
Whatever.
she didn't really
Right.
understand. But
Right.
it was a big deal, and it just continued to grow for the next couple of years, and it
Mhm.
just still, like, blows my mind.
Is there anything particular you attribute that success to? Like, is it like the time you posted, or like what do you think made that number just blow up like that?
I think because it was a really trendy song at the time, and comparing it to the original, a lot of people found it like comforting. A lot of people told me like, "Oh, I listen to this like when I'm going to sleep," and I think just having like a different version of the same song that a lot of people enjoyed, it's just like people enjoyed it, I guess.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of this one cover that an artist I used to listen to, Kuko, made. He made a cover of Melting, Kaliuch's track. That's how I discovered him, so that reminds me a lot.
Really?
About, yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So was it intimidating following up from that release?
Yeah, I remember I felt like I had to just release like the best song ever afterwards that really represented me as an artist. But I didn't release for like 6 months following it because I was like intimidated. Also, my skills with production weren't the best at the time. So yeah, it was definitely, I was scared.
So what helped you like overcome that?
I think I just kind of was like, it's not that serious. Like, it's okay. Let me just release music that I want to release, and life will go on.
Right, an audience will come to you.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with MTM?
So I was already involved with the School of Music, and I'm a music production major. And there was an MTM meetup happening, and it was like showcasing music, and it was a chance for people to meet each other. And I played my song "Show Your Bones" at the meetup, and it was received really well. And then I got contacted by Wes, and then had an interview, and then kept on from there.
Right.
Got in and started making new music.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you come to Georgia State for the School of Music, or what brought you here to Atlanta?
Yeah, I came here for the School of Music.
Was there any particular like avenue you wanted to reach into the School of Music, or?
Well, initially, I really wanted to do music production, but I was actually a music education major, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to actually pursue, music. Yeah.
So I hear that you have a new song coming out in the next week. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the song is something a little bit different than what I have previously released, but I'm really excited because it's a lot closer to what I feel like represents me as an artist. It's more of like a live band sound, more leaning towards rock than like soft, like chill vibes. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Is there any reason why you decided for the change up? Because it's like from soft to like rock, it's a big jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always wanted to record music like that, but I just felt like I didn't know how. I always tried and it just never sounded good. But working with my team I have right now with MTM Standard, having so many like talented individuals come together to make that like vision happen, it just made this like incredible like rock song.
And to peek behind like the veil a little bit, like how did that look like? How did you present the idea? Like how did the conception from the song into producing it happen?
So, well, originally it was written on piano, but I took it and there was like some like guitar parts that it's like a lot of the same, like the drums and guitar and the synth piano sound you hear is the same that were in the demo. We just took it and like made it higher quality, and it's obviously mixed a lot better.
Right.
We added some other lead guitar parts that weren't there before.
So neat. So like, did the production help you find the people to play those instruments, or?
Yeah, having the team really helped. Like one of the bass player was a friend of mine, and Noah, who's on my team, plays the guitar, and so did Felipe. And then we brought in a drummer that we all kind of mutually knew, and yeah, we just all worked together.
Neat. So you mentioned it was a demo back in January, right? And now it's become a whole production. How has the process like felt for you?
Yeah, the initial recording stage, it was pretty fast paced. Definitely wasn't what I was used to, but it was really great. I had actually never recorded with really anyone else before on my music, so it was like a whole new experience, which was, it was kind of scary, but it was also really exciting. Like it pushed me out of my comfort zone, which was fun.
Neat. So this is clearly like obviously a big shift in your music and your sound. Do you believe you could be writing more music like that, more songs like that, or what's going to happen with Kelseydog?
Yeah, I really hope to keep writing music that's similar to the song To Know Love, just because, like I feel like rock music really shows who I am more as an artist. It feels more like me, Kelseydog, you know.
Right.
And so I really hope to keep writing more music like that. And I don't want to completely gear away from the sound I had before. You know, I like want to just incorporate more rock aspects while also, yeah.
So you mentioned that the what inspires you from the music that you listen to is the feeling that make you feel, right? And then that goes into your music. When you make your music, is there are you trying to capture a feeling, or like are you trying to make the listener feel something? Like what, you know?
Yeah, usually when I go to write a song, I just kind of like put down whatever it is I'm feeling. Sometimes I am trying to make it sound more specific about a certain situation that I'm really thinking about. But yeah, it's usually just like off the noggin, like what I'm going through, and I just spit it out.
Real.
But yeah.
I'm about to start using off the noggin.
Off the noggin.
Yeah. So where do you plan on taking your career following your time here at Georgia State?
Yeah, following my career at Georgia State, I really just want to keep making music. And I want to start playing in front of more people. That's like my favorite thing ever is performing, and you know, to see where that goes. I don't have too strict of a plan. I just want to, you know, keep on going, hope for the best.
And you mentioned performing and whatnot. What type of audience do you make your music for, or like who do you think your audience is?
I don't think I really make music with too much of an audience in mind. I actually don't really know the answer to that question.
Following up that question, do you think you'll stay in Atlanta, or where do you think your music is going to take you?
I do love being in Atlanta. I'm not really sure where I'll end up. I really hope to, you know, in the future, like tour and travel around. That would be super sick. So yeah, that's the goal. Just move around.
Any like goal tour spots that you want to hit?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to like the places I've lived before. Like I would love to go and play a show in Seattle and play a show in California. And,
your roots and whatnot.
Yeah. That'd be really, and also, I don't know, I've never been to New York. I feel like somewhere in New York would be freaking awesome. Yeah.
And you also said earlier that you really like performing and that experience and whatnot. And you have a performance coming up at the Georgia State Carnival next week. How do you feel about that? And when's the last time you performed?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Definitely a little bit nervous. My last performance was I played for a MTM like boardwalk show, and that was really fun. So
what's up next for Kelseydog? You know, do you have any new releases coming up after this song? Maybe an album? Like what can we expect from you?
Yeah, after this song, I'm gonna be releasing another single to come, and then I'm gonna be working on an EP to follow up the rest of the year. So I'm really excited.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, yay! More music. No, for real.
So as we wrap up, is there anyone you want to shout out? Any thank yous that you want to give out? And where can we find you on socials?
Yeah, so definitely a big shout out to everyone in MTM and the team I've been working with. And for socials, it's Kelseydog, KELSEYDOG_ on Instagram and TikTok, and then everything else is just Kelseydog, no underscore.
Can we find Kelseydog on Roblox still, or is that?
You know, you actually can.
Yeah.
Send me a friend request.
Okay, we will. We'll bombard that.
All right.
So here you're gonna be performing at the MTM Music Festival at the Georgia State Carnival next week. How do you feel about performing in front of that amount of people? Because it does get pretty packed. Are you nervous? Like, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely nervous, but I think I'm more excited than anything. I love performing for people, and I just want so many people to like hear my music, you know, and hope that it resonates with anyone who's willing to listen, really. So yeah.
And is that the part that you like the most about performing, like having someone resonate with your music there live with you, or like what's the part that you enjoy the most? Yeah,
because I think that is the part I enjoy the most, is because, you know, like when I look at my phone, like Spotify, I see numbers, but it's like, you know, it's awesome, but it's not like I can see like a person, you know. But when you're performing live, it's like you can feel the energy and see the people. So I think that's the best part.
Neat.
Yeah.
So this has been MTM Review with me, Bryan, and
Kelseydog.
So yeah, to tune you guys off, we'll be playing To Know Love by Kelseydog. I almost said off the noggin.
I want to know love, 'cause tonight I'm not with anyone, but you might just be the one. to go, 'cause I'll take it real slow. 2, 3, 4. You've got my mind captive with the way you move. Don't tell me goodbye, really wanna make a move, but that'll take all the courage I have for the rest of the night. Just don't lie, and we'll be just fine. Don't tell me you have to go, 'cause I'll take it real slow. 2, 3, 4. I have for the rest of the night. You've got my mind captive with the way you move. Don't tell me goodbye, really wanna make a move, but that'll take all the courage I have for the rest of the night. That'll take all the courage I have for the rest of the night. Written on the doorway. Why can't everyone just go away except you? You can stay. What do you think of my treehouse? It's where I sit and talk really loud, usually all by myself. Captain, but you can be my deputy. I'm really glad that you think I'm so funny. I don't think I'm ever gonna let you leave. Do not enter is written on the doorway. Why can't everyone just go away except you? You can stay. What do you think of my treehouse? It's where I sit and talk really loud, usually all by myself. Captain, but you can be my deputy. I'm really glad that you think I'm so funny. I don't think I'm ever gonna let you leave. Let's get lost, let's drive around. We don't know where we're going, and all we wanna do is mess around. Let's go, let's be kids, 'cause I don't wanna be like 43 and realize what I could have been. side and we'll never die. All we have is tonight, so let's do something right. I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die. At least not yet. At least not yet. Sometimes my cat screams, so I assume the frogs ate me alive. And I see your eyes are growing flowers. Honestly, I just wanna hold your hand, but it seems I'm always too tired. I don't wanna be perfect. I just wanna be good enough for you. Rats and bugs are in my brain, and I feel I've gone insane. An eyeliner is running down my chin, but it seems I don't wanna be here. I don't wanna be perfect. I just wanna be good enough for you. You kinda remind me of myself. So yeah, I kind of hate you, but I still can't help but to chase you.
Welcome back to MTM Review on Album 88. The songs you just heard were To Know Love, Treehouse, I Don't Want to Die, and I Want to Hold Your Hand, all by artist and GSU student Kelseydog. That first song, To Know Love, is releasing next Friday, April 12th, so make sure to pre-save it over at Kelsey's Instagram at Kelseydog_. Also, just to get real for a second, I actually had a big hand in getting Kelseydog involved with MTM, so personally it feels awesome to be able to see the song and release just come together in the way that it has. So yeah, as always, with any comments, questions, or concerns, you can call the station during business hours at 404-413-9727. That's 404-413-WRAS. Or if you'd like to contact the show specifically, you can email me at wes7629@gmail.com. Again, that email is wes7629@gmail.com. All right, our second guest for tonight is Bril Daley, the General Manager for MTM. Bril is a senior here at Georgia State from Snellville, Georgia, although originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and has been heavily involved with MTM for close to a year now. He helps to manage all of the different departments and operations that exist within MTM Standard and make sure that they are all running as effectively and efficiently as they can. One of those departments he's worked especially a lot in is the sync department. This is actually my very own department at MTM, as I'm the sync director, so Bril and I have worked very closely for almost a year now. We both began working in sync by interning for MTM sync department last summer, and have both been very involved since. Bryan Gallegos has more.
Hi, this is Bryan with MTM Review, and today we're here with
Bril Daley.
So, let's just get into the questions. Who are you and where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm 26 years old from Snellville, Georgia. I'm originally from Baltimore, and I think for me, I found my niche in music just in the business realm, learning and really immersing myself in just the different aspects that it takes to really become a music professional. Mm-hmm. I started off, drumline and classical band and, through middle school, high school. And as I got to Georgia State, I liked the lifestyle of music, but I kind of got burnt out at the same time. So I took a break, but I found myself getting into more business ventures and stuff like that. So personally, that's just how I found my lane. And especially I'm an insurance agent, but for me, I've kind of combined those two worlds into being that music professional behind the scenes, really looking at marketing, PR, and project management, what it takes to really break an artist.
Mm-hmm. Is there any reason why you came to Atlanta and Georgia State specifically?
Well, I've been here since like 5th grade.
Mhm.
It's definitely like, you know, a Georgia native at this point. But, you know, Atlanta's the hub for like, one of the hubs at least for music, especially like in the hip hop urban space. You know, I think Georgia State is just a really prime location, especially for us in like the entertainment world, where we just have access to so much stuff going on because we're not like a legitimate campus.
Right.
Like it's just buildings next to the general public. I think it's a great way for us to like get connected with the different resources that Atlanta has to offer.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously you're in MTM.
Mm-hmm.
What's your role, and can you tell me more a little about it?
Sure. So, I've been a part of MTM for 3 semesters now. Currently the general manager for this semester. It pretty much just entails like just being the right-hand man to the president, Brooke, and really just making sure that everything is running smoothly. Mm-hmm. So we have 3 main divisions. We have our sync department, we have booking and events, and we have our distribution side. So just really making sure that all of our processes are moving as smooth as possible, that nothing's being like falling in between the cracks. Because it's a learning experience for all students. So just making sure everyone is like understanding what their tasks are and really just like seeing things through.
Mm-hmm. That like they're locked in and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Early in the semester, we interviewed actually the president, Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
So for what I've noticed, your roles are kind of similar, but aren't at the same time. What are some of the major differences between her role and yours?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, even if you think about president, vice president of any company or even the United States, I mean, it's like one person could be talking to one organization or one group of people, the other one's talking to another group of people. So it really encompasses a lot of the same things. I think the only difference really is that she's the face of MTM. Right. You know, so she is El Presidente. But, you know, even for me, I'm just making sure that like, you know, again, like I'm checking in with all the different divisions and the subgroups that we have developed for MTM Standard, you know, between visuals, between marketing, outreach, playlist pitching, radio pitching, you know, just making sure that like all the different like micromanaging tasks that we have to deal with, you know, on a daily basis are just completed so that way we can see to whatever the artist wants to have done, whether it's distribution or sync.
Could you say that her position is more macro, yours more micro, like, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. She's making sure that everything is running smoothly, but she's like really looking at a bird's eye view. You know, I'm usually kind of more so quiet during our meetings for everybody because she's kind of running that for the most part. But when it comes to like just being active in our chats, being a resource that people can go to if they have a question for whatever, that's pretty much my role.
So to me, it sounds very overwhelming because I guess from my side, how do you combat that? Like, it does sound like of something very time intense. Like, how do you juggle doing that role? Yeah,
so I mean, something that I've been living by, especially like in my most recent years. Like, I know a lot of people talk about time management, but I think something that's even more important is priority management. It's like just making sure that like there's just a lot of things that have to get done, especially just like for me, and I have endeavors outside of this. So for me, I write my tasks down at the beginning of the day, you know, whatever objectives, whatever I got to get done. I just jot them all down in my notebook and I take notes and just cross it off the list and just try to be as efficient as possible. You know, for me personally, I try not to overthink things. You know, I just kind of go with it. I don't know. I've kind of like embraced like not necessarily being overwhelmed, but just like being, I guess, challenged is probably a better word. You know, just like really like seeing what my fullest potential is and just what all can get done, and you'll be surprised what you can do.
And how did you come about your role in MTM?
So I've been a part of MTM since summer, and I was introduced by Professor Al Thrash. And I mean, ever since then, I was really interested in it. I never even knew about sync licensing before MTM Standard. So, I mean, it just introduced me to a whole world of music that I guess from the outside in, you can know that there's music on an advertisement or on a film or TV, but you may not know the terminology sync licensing and what all goes into that. Even just being a musician, a lot of musicians don't know or understand sync licensing. So I was introduced back in summer, and from there, it's just been, it's just been a learning experience. Even back then, it was just like a few of us, Wes included, and, you know, just really learning the ins and outs of sync licensing, disco, and, you know, how to really, organize a sync licensing operation to pitch and have it properly placed on whatever production. I think that was just the thing that got me, and really just like the moneymaker for MTM Standard. And then from there, just, you know, adding the distribution and the booking services. I think it's a really powerhouse organization that has a lot of potential. Right.
And do you enjoy the role that you manage, basically?
I mean, yeah, I definitely enjoy it. I mean, I see myself doing this in the real world. I think this is great practice for anybody that really wants to, or not even practice, this is experience. That, you know, if you want to be a music executive or, you know, some type of high level professional within the music industry, this is a great way for you to, like, you know, just get your chops up with your soft skills, how to communicate, how to really like see things through, how to manage your tasks, how to manage with other people. I mean, business is a team sport. We don't really like think of it like that, but most businesses are like team sports. Like, I mean, you have different divisions, different aspects to it to make it run properly. So it just gets you used to that environment before you like kick off into the world, you know?
Earlier you mentioned sync in that department, and I know specifically you're very involved in the sync department, and you talked a little bit more about it, but can you give me more of a rundown about it, how it works, and how did you get involved with sync specifically?
Sure. Sync is a great opportunity, especially like with MTM Standard and where we are with everything. So sync licensing, again, is the process of getting your music on productions like TV, film, advertisements, games, and so on. And so as far as sync licensing goes, for MTM Standard, technically it's a class, but it's a LLC. And so what we're able to do is we're able to get artists into our catalog, and they can talk with one of our reps about it and get access to our submission link to be able to submit their music and have the chance to be able to go on a production like a TV, film, or advertisement project. They have the opportunity to make money from it. It's a 70-30 split where the artist gets 70% and it's non-exclusive, which is something that, you know, you may not face in the real world. There's definitely exclusive agreements out there. So it's a great way for artists to get their music out and get real money for the music that it could be a part of as far as whatever project, and the opportunity to work with whatever other company that's out there. It's just getting them the experience to be able to expose their music and make money while they're in school.
And not be tied down by exclusive contract.
Exactly.
So let's say I'm a movie company. Is someone pitching me a particular song, or am I going through your sync catalog to find a song that can fit my movie or my trailer better?
Yeah. So the way it would work is that whatever production, they're going to have a music supervisor. And so part of the sync department's job is to really even continue to grow relationships with more music supervisors. But the music supervisor would send out, you know, a brief to us in which we would then go to our catalog and figure out the music that fits the music for that particular scene. Okay. So again, this is a great way for artists of all kinds to be able to feature their music and have that opportunity to be placed. I mean, from jazz music, classical, pop, rock, hip hop, EDM, it really does not matter. I mean, there's a market for basically all genres in their respective fields. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
All right, so now like switching it up. Let's say I'm an artist, right? I'm gonna come up with an artist name called Bry Guy, right? I'm in the workshopping a little bit, right? So I come to you and I'm like, I want to be involved with sync. You mentioned earlier I could talk to a representative, but let's say I don't know anything. Like, who do I go to? Where do I go to? You know what I mean? To be featured in sync and to start making money.
Yeah, so definitely want to start with checking out our website, mtmstandard.com. Go to the sync tab, and you know you can reach out there, and then also just following us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So Twitter too. So
or X.
X. Yeah, right. It's a new thing now. So yeah, just following us on social media, looking at the events that we're gonna host, getting in contact with the reps that you see on the social media, or again just reaching out via the website, mtmstandard.com.
And let's say I'm just an average Joe. Would I just go on to mtmstandard.com and click on the sync page to just find new artists? Could I also just do that?
Yep. Our playlist is on there as well for you to hear our current, and some of our past artists are on there as well. So it's a great way to just stay up to date with what we're doing and a part of MTM Standard Sync.
Neat. Or is there any like success stories you can tell us about?
Yeah, so right now the biggest success story is Arize. He got placed on Black Ink Crew, I believe last year. So, again, that's a great opportunity for him. He got his music on General TV. That's huge for him. And then, he got a check from Paramount, because Paramount was the production company. So, I think that's a great thing for him. He's for him to put on his resume and, his EPK, all that stuff. And, we're looking to create more success stories along that lines.
Right. And I guess this might be a little technical question, but let's say my song gets featured on a show that reruns on TV. Would I be getting a check from that show monthly, or like however they do it? And would
That's a good
MTM get a
question.
check, or would I just get one check for the one time?
Yeah, so you get the upfront pay and the royalties.
Oh, okay.
So on the back end, it's called media rights. That's what allows you to, it's discussed up front. And so per our agreement, you're getting 100% of the royalties that come from that placement. So, I mean, that's not something that you'll find from just any sync agreement, but that's how we run.
So not only would I be getting, because it's a 70-30 split from the initial one, right?
Yeah, upfront.
So the upfront, right? After that, I would even be getting royalties all mine, right?
Exactly.
Sounds like an amazing deal for artists.
Hey, it's a win-win. I mean,
Gosh.
yeah, it's a big win for the artists, especially, GSU students that have access here. So,
what are some of the biggest challenges that you face in your role in either the sync department or being just general manager?
I think some of the biggest challenges is just making sure that things run smoothly. Making sure that, it is a student-run organization, so, everyone's learning. Everyone's trying to understand how the real world, real business works. But biggest thing that we're looking for, because and even just besides the artists, MTM Standard is open to participants in the different roles and departments that we have to GSU students. So like, if you're interested in creative writing or in, PR, being a publicist, or if you just have really good project management skills, you can just see a task through until it's done. Being really organized. If you have an interest in accounting or being a part of like business affairs, we have a space for that too. So the biggest thing is just finding people that are really passionate about that and making sure that everything is being done to the best of its ability.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's the most gratifying part of your job in either departments?
I think the most gratifying part is just again like seeing it through. So like that could be just making sure that we have a successful event that was marketed properly and our stats were bigger than the last turnout for the event, or having a release that is not only to the artist liking, but we're able to build their following, able to build their social media, able to run up their streams to whatever that next tier is. If you're, an artist that's just starting out, let's get you your first 1,000 streams,
right?
Or if you're already at that, let's get you to 10,000, or, whatever that situation may be. And then, on the sync side is getting placed, or, creating a new, fresh relationship with a supervisor, especially if it's done by a student. That's what it's all about. Us getting that experience and us building those chops to be able to excel in that in the real world.
Okay, cool. So next weekend, there's a large sync conference hosted by MTM. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Sure. So on April 12th through the 14th, we're going to be hosting our annual sync conference. This is the second one that we're hosting. And we're going to have some powerhouse music supervisors in town. The artists are going to have a chance to be able to network. You have a chance to be able to see what it takes to properly sync a song. See what music supervisors are looking for, and getting placements for artists. They're also going to be reviewing 15 or 17 of our artists personally and listening to their song and seeing if that song is ready to be synced and favorable for any of the projects that they're working for. So that weekend, April 12th through the 14th, is going to be a great way for student artists to be able to, meet real industry powerhouses. We're talking about music supervisors that worked on Jumanji, like Atlanta the Show, and John Wick 4. Whoa. Some like real heavy music supervisors. So, and then April 14th, the Sunday event is open to the public. So if you want more information, you can go to the website, mtmstandard.com. You can go to the sync tab, or again, you can check it out on our social media, MTM Standard.
Right. Is it intimidating to be in that space with these like people with just such large careers, or like how do you go about that mentally?
Personally, I've been around a few celebrities or celebrity adjacent. And so, I think just the biggest thing about being around people that are really successful at their field is just kind of being yourself. Right. Especially if you know yourself, you're already someone that is genuine and someone that, is between just being a good person and just being transparent and just being someone that could be a resource. Right. It doesn't matter if it starts with like getting coffee or just making sure that they're good to whatever degree. Do you need a snack? Do you need water? You know, just being a resource to that person. I think that's just how you really like open the door, and just like really good conversation. You don't want to be overbearing, but at the same time, you just want to like really just be like just genuine and open to the experience and relax,
Right.
you know, just soak it in, and just know that everything happens in like in the time that it's supposed to, you know? Yeah, you don't want to be overbearing, but you do want to make sure that like you capture that moment, you know, whatever that means for you, and just be really clear about also like what your intentions are. Like, where do you want to see this? I mean, we're all human. We all know that we want to get to the next stage in life. And so for them, they know that they're coming to a university where we're all hungry to learn and get to that next stage in life and get to where they are. So, you know, it's just being humble and really just like soaking up the experience for what it is.
Right. So you mentioned that we could also find the information to attend Sunday, April 14th.
Yep.
On the MTM Standard website, on the Sync page. But how else can we be more involved with Sync or just MTM in general?
Yeah, so especially for students, we meet right now Wednesdays in Adderhold. And so I would get with or just email the email that's on the website, or our professors, Al Thrash and Ben Jonas. They would be a great resource to reach out to and get some more information. You can reach out to myself or Brooke, or check on the website, get our email, reach out. Especially if you're interested in a particular area within MTM. You know, if you're interested in production, you know, you can get with myself or Paisley, the lead project manager. You know, if you're interested in marketing, you know, you got Channing. We have a solid leadership team that can get the job done and really point you in the direction with what we have going on and what our processes are.
Right. Neat. And as we wrap up, is there anybody you want to shout out or thank? And where could we find you on social media?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, my social media is Bril Daley. It's Bril Daley. I mean, shout out MTM Standard. You know, it's still a baby as far as being a company goes, but it's a lot of potential to it, going through the weeds of it and just really making sure we fine tune all the processes. And I think just as Georgia State gets a hold of it more and more, I think we'll find just we're collabing with like other departments, you know, whether it's legal or the accounting department or like creative writing, English majors, marketing, film majors. Gotta have film photographers, all that stuff. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of room for this to grow. It's a music company, but it's not just for music majors. Like, it's for a lot of different types of majors to be involved in this. So I think that's just like the biggest thing. Shout out the professors, you know, Thrash and Ben. Shout out the leadership, you know, everybody from the top all the way to, you know, our teams and all the work that they put in over the semester. So yeah, shout out MTM.
Whoop, whoop. So as we wrap up, this has been MTM Review with me, Bryan, and our guest,
Bril Daley.
We'll catch you on the next one.
I feel like I've gotten kisses many times before, but never have I felt like I was walking on clouds. I feel like I received loved ones from people I adore, but never have I felt talk I've been hearing about. Is it just as crazy as they say it will be? Maybe it's too late for me. I'm only getting older. I'm not cut out for what I expected to be. I'm in no rush to be overwhelmed with passion. I have no sight of real love. Won't know my reaction. Give me a reason to believe that I'll earn
icing. Treehouse, celebrate. It was all a dream. Get up, I get caught up in your eyes. Yes, I'm in love.
It's like a dance to your favorite song. Wanna be okay, wanna be, gotta know I'm not wrong. For fun, let's pretend we're dancing all around the world. I see trouble, I see heavenly with this girl.
Like our arms, girl, my heart is interlinked with yours. I can't release this love that I am feeling with you, feeling with you. All of the things that we could do together. I guess now that we're in love,
It's like a dance to your favorite song. Wanna be okay, wanna be, gotta know I'm not wrong. For fun, let's pretend we're dancing all around the world. I see trouble, I see heavenly with this girl. I feel so heavenly when she stands next to me, twisting and turning to your sweet melody. It's been and I know that this is the moment. Your eyes and my eyes, they can we just be? My friend and her friend just left, I see duality. Sweaty palms now, don't fuck with me when standing with she. Warmth of her body beyond humanity. I'm thinking, can we go chill under the tree?
Mamacita, es bonita, little chica. Come to meet ya, girl, I see ya. Tryna see ya, is you down? Ooh, girl, can I holla? Mamacita, la chica, muy guapa. Came from Guava, she hotter than lava. Out of pesos, but I still throw these dollars. You lead and I follow like whoa, oh, 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 oh. Don't just stop speaking, go, oh, 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 oh. Nobody gotta know, oh, 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 oh. Hit the blunt while she roll, oh, 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 oh. She went off the smoke, right. In the coche, let's go. While I'm getting high, she dropping that low. Staring at my chain, she like, yo, that glow. Penaza, mami, dame uno beso. In the coche, let's go. While I'm getting high, she dropping that low. Staring at my chain, she like, yo, that glow. Penaza, mami, dame uno beso. Now watch it. Swing, 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 whoa. Wa-da-da-da, dang. Swing, 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 whoa. And don't you worry about a thing, just swing, 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 whoa. Wa-da-da-da, dang. You wanna make that thing bang. You got the swing that I need. You got wa-da-da-da, dang. I'll make you scream like I can make you scream like I'll make you scream like shorty, I can make you scream right. Scream like shorty, I can make you scream like scream like shorty, I can make you scream right. Ya estás haciendo. Might not get with you, but I get your friend though. She for the bando, she wild out like Rambo. She smoke on that endo. Top buena, no miento. She wink, I comprendo like oh, I love how you move. Que ya te estucas. Things I would do to you. Mi casa es tuya. Into the coche, let's go. While I'm getting high, she dropping that low. Staring at my chain, she like, yo, that glow. Penaza, mami, dame uno beso. Into the coche, let's go. While I'm getting high, she dropping that low. Staring at my chain, she like, yo, that glow. Penaza, mami, dame uno beso. Now watch her swing, 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 whoa. Wa-da-da-da, dang. Swing, 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 whoa. And don't you worry about a thing, just swing, 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 whoa. Wa-da-da-da, dang. You wanna make that thing bang. You got the swing that I need. Wa-da-da-da, dang.
you just heard here on MTM Review on album 88 was Butterflies by Noah, For Fun by Noah Holland featuring Motohama. Yes, that's a different Noah. And then Swing by Rocky Chatman. As always, with any comments, questions, or concerns, you can call the station during business hours at 404-413-9727. That's 404-413-WRAS. Or if you'd like to contact this show specifically, you can email me at west7629@gmail.com. Well, that about wraps it up for this show. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of sad news to share. The next show will be our final for the semester. I've really enjoyed being able to work with so many people and make the show a reality and contribute just that much to the wider GSU and Atlanta music communities. But again, we still have one more show left. It's not quite done. That show will feature hip-hop artist John Yesha and how he's been able to produce music despite his illness, as well as the professor advisors for MTM Standard, Ben Jonas and Al Thrash. Those last two names probably sound familiar to regular listeners of this show, as most, if not all, leadership guests we've had on the show have mentioned them. So I'm really excited to have them on guests on the show and hear about how they've built the whole operation from the ground up. Be sure to tune in on April 18th to hear more from them. For this episode, our producer, editor, and host is Wesley Barrett. Our journalist is Bryan Gallegos. Our engineer is Wesley Barrett. Our opening theme music was Determination by Jonathan Tanksley. Our closing theme music is Fall For You by Cameron Cho. Both of those artists are current GSU students. This program is produced in partnership with MTM Standard Music Group, Georgia State University's student-run record label, and Sync House. Some portions of this program may be graded schoolwork for students in the College of the Arts. Opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Album 88, MTM Standard, or the College of the Arts. For more information on our continued commitment to editorial independence in all of student media, please visit mtmstandard.com/WRAS. This has been your host, Wesley Barrett with MTM Review, signing off for tonight's show. Be sure to tune in for our final show coming up in 2 weeks on April 18th, airing here and only here on Album 88.